Stanford at Clemson, the game here that should be coming up soon. Has it been canceled because Hurricane Helene or Tropical Storm Helene or whatever you want to call it came through the upstate of South Carolina as well as a lot of the South, the tri-state area, and destroyed so much? Is the game canceled? No, the game is not canceled. Why would we cancel a game that brings in probably 150 to 200,000 extra people into a small area? Clemson's a very small town without a game especially being played there. Why would we bring them in when the vast majority of the citizens in that general area doesn't have power? And I see this comment here, the Clemson campus is fine. I'm not talking about the Clemson campus. I'm talking about the surrounding area. The resources, the police departments, the gas stations that are barely running, that will run out of fuel. I care about the campus, but I also care about those areas. And folks, if you're like, man, you are overreacting, let me tell you the reason why I'm irritated the more and more I think about it. Imagine if something happened in this country. I'm not talking about a 9/11 or something. But let's just say that something happened in this country and some of the people down at Clemson University got really upset about it. Say some of the professors who have some clout there manipulates the 18 to 23-year-old students that are going to school there and tell them, you need to protest because if they play this game, it's insensitive to someone. Why are they not doing that for the Clemson area? Why are they not doing it for that surrounding area of Oconee and Pickens County? Because I know right now someone who was just a few miles from the university who has no power, who hasn't seen a power truck in forever, and no, they don't live out in the boonies. But we're still going to play this game. And so, folks, when you weigh that out and you consider how bad this is, it looks quite insensitive for Clemson to play this football game. And I don't use that word a lot because that word has been hijacked to intimidate people and to get across a message. But folks, I'm just telling you, this game should have either been moved to Stanford or postponed. This area cannot handle this influx not only of people, but also the resources going into this game. And the more and more I think about it, the more and more it kind of makes me sick, especially when I gave you the example of something that if it didn't even happen here, if some of the people in charge at Clemson University felt like it would be insensitive to play football at that time, they would nix it. But the very community around them, if they are struggling, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they would cancel it. But the very community around them is suffering. They care less. And you know I love football. I hate to say it, but we can't afford to cancel this game. Postpone it and move it to California, move it somewhere else. We can't afford to this area. Clemson 24-26, respectfully, where I'm at, I'm an hour from them. But I know people there who's just a few miles from them. They have no power. I know someone right now who's very sick right now, and they have nothing. Yes, we can. Brian is going woke. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Not at all. No, we don't need to play this. We don't need to play this game because of the resources that are going. Policemen are having to direct traffic for a football game when they should be out doing something else. Sorry. I'm sorry, folks. I disagree with you. Peter, I'm a student in Clemson right now. It took 30 minutes to get gas. Hour-long waits at restaurants. Impossible to go anywhere. Why are we playing this game, folks? Says they're still playing. Yes, they're still playing. They're still playing. You and I would just have to agree to disagree, but I'm sorry, folks. There's no reason There's no reason to play this game when the surrounding area is destroyed. Do you realize how many people come into Clemson for a football game? Do you realize how many people are waiting in long lines for gas, and that gas will run out? Gas stations, they have to be supplied. They just don't, gas just doesn't show up. Grocery stores, it's very difficult for them to meet supply and demand. Why? Because they have to have trucks to get there. They have to have fuel to get there. Folks, I am telling you, I appreciate you, and if you disagree with me, you disagree with me, that is fine, but I know, my buddy Big Skin Pete, it's great to see you, my friend, glad you're in here. Hopefully we can get you on the show soon. I just think that we shouldn't be playing this game. Folks, I am telling you, I am one of the fortunate ones who has power right now. Because I live near, I think, please forgive me if I'm butchering the jargon, but a substation. I live very close to a substation, and I'm near a hospital. My buddy, who's 3/10 of a mile down the road from me, he doesn't have power. And I don't live out in the middle of nowhere. I live in probably one of the most crowded areas of the Greenville area. If anyone would be getting power first, it would be this general area, not just my side of the road. And I'm just sorry, folks, when you think about if something stupid were to happen in some other state, I'm not talking about like a 9/11. I'm not talking about that. All right? Let's set the boundaries here. But if something happened in another part of the country, if it lived in another part of the country, and it wasn't like a 9/11, but if some of the people at Clemson, especially some of the professors in certain departments, got all upset about it and started manipulating the students, that some of you paid a lot of money for them to be manipulated, started to get them to protest and get upset and say, it would be insensitive for you to play football right now. Clemson would cancel it. But the area around them can be without power, limited resources, and they're still going to play a football game. I'm going to use a line that I hear a lot. Do better. Do better. If Stanford had a tragedy, those Stanford football players would go back to the Bay Area. So, anyway, they would go back to the Bay Area. So it's just SR 987. Just to play devil's advocate, didn't we play Notre Dame in a hurricane? Okay, I agree with what you're talking about. I remember that. That we've had storms like that come through before. This storm, SR 987. I say this out of respect. We can disagree. We've never had anything like this happen in the upstate of South Carolina. A lot of like meteorologists and people within the weather community has said this. Nothing like this has happened in mass to this upstate of South Carolina since the early 1900s, maybe even the late 1800s. We should not be playing this game. Folks, if you're not in the upstate of South Carolina, you don't know. It is horrible here. And then again, you consider what I just said, that if something happened somewhere else that wasn't like a 9/11, but some of the people got sensitive about it in Clemson University and said it would be insensitive to play football, they would cancel it. They'd send Stanford back. So, anyway, folks, just consider it. Y'all take care of yourself. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have power. And I hope you can find gas, especially if you're in the Clemson game. Especially if you're at the Clemson game, because hope if you, gas and stuff like that's going to run out because it has to be supplied. It has to be replenished. And it's really, really sad. Y'all take care of yourself. Y'all be good. I just... Y'all take care of yourself and you be good. Stay safe. Be good.